I think the daydreaming, there's just something that rings true with that.
Esther discovered it. It's interesting because we've been talking about processes. We've been helping her clean up her vibration. She's living an extraordinary life experience. You are too. But one day she'd been with a friend quite a bit, and they were doing focus wheels together. It got to be quite a grind. So Esther is sitting by herself one morning doing a focus wheel about something that she'd been working on, something that she was wanting to clean up. And she just grew weary of it. She knew she was efforting, and she knew she wasn't feeling better. In fact, at the end of the process, she felt worse than the beginning of the process. That's a sign that it's not the right process for right now. And so she just put her pen down on her page, and she breathed and thought about what she was asking for, and thought about what she'd written in the center of the circle, what it was she really wanted. And she said to herself, if I could have everything I want about that, what would it be? And just that statement sort of opened a door for her. It was the least resistance she'd had in this day, at least. And then the next thought was, oh, no, since I can have it the way I want it, not if, since I can have it, what do I want? And she had this feeling of starting completely over. It was like none of the current elements were in the mix. And it felt so free. It was like she went out of body for about 10 seconds. It felt so free. She felt euphoria. And for about 10 seconds, she saw it just as she wants it to be. And then the 10 seconds passed and she said, holy crap. Those are her words. We don't talk about it. Well, it is kind of holy crap, isn't it? Source energy stuff. She said, I now understand better than ever, maybe for the first time ever, what Abraham's been meaning when they say one who's connected to the stream or to the source or to the vortex is more powerful than a million who aren't, because she felt firsthand the difference in the resistance that was in the trying to clean up energy and the absence of resistance as she dreamed everything new. It was all new. Everything was new. All the places were new, all the people was new, it was all new. There was no resistance in any of it because it was all new. And so that's what we're talking about. Putting yourself in a position where you can feel your own power, just little by little by little. We might be making this feel way too big to you. You've been doing it all along your whole life. You just haven't been doing it on purpose. You just haven't known that you could do it on purpose. You just haven't known the power of it. And you've been willing to pay the price and to sacrifice and to suffer and to offer effort. You've been willing to do all the things that the other people in their human form are willing to do, because you've been willing to measure yourself up against the other humans who are going about it the hard way. We don't think that's why you came here today. We think you came to come into communion, into union, into blending with the whole of who you are. And so we want to tell you who that is. We want to paint a picture so that you can accept that you are this energy of non-physical and physical. We want you to understand that the emotions that you feel are your indicator of how well blended or not you are. And that the more clarity you feel and the more love you feel and the more happy you feel and the more wonderful you feel, that the more in harmony you are with who you are. That's where your power is. Your power is in your happy. And we want you to find and know and isolate and identify and practice and discover and get it sometimes and not get it sometimes, until you know, until you're willing to proclaim to yourself the power of non-resistant thought. And once you do that, your resistant thought is going to stick out like a sore thumb. Things that haven't been bothering you very long. Esther got up from a dinner table and walked away the other night because she could not listen for one more minute to what they were talking about. 27 trips to the bathroom is not normal. But you got to do what you got to do. And you know what? She launched a rocket. Always take my own car. You don't need to be trapped in places that you don't want to be. And so it's easy for you to hear it when we offer it to you like this, because you know you've been trapped in conversations with people that are complaining and that are introducing resistance into the equation until you are too. You know what we're talking about. But you know, it's not just you standing in a non-resistant place and somebody else standing in a resistant place. This is the same story as your desires and your beliefs. You are having the battle within yourself all the time. It's not even about other people. You wouldn't be in a place with others who are giving that to you if you didn't have that battle going on within yourself. And you know what the battle is? Gotta be nice, gotta play along, don't want to stand out, don't want to look too Pollyanna, don't want to think too many pure positive thoughts, don't want to seem uninvolved, don't want to seem misinformed, don't want to seem like I don't care. And we say, we think what you want is true compassion. We think what you want is to tune into source, to become a perfect blending with source energy and look at them with the wholeness of who you are and uplift them. We think that's what you want, you see. No one will feel denied or forgotten when you're thinking about them, when you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on. But you got to segment and tend. You got to get out ahead of the meeting. You got to be ready for the meeting vibrationally. And oh, it's so fun. It's so fun. It's so fun just to notice how much better it gets, how much better you feel, how much more power you have. Are you afraid of your point of attraction? We're asking you, are you? Are you afraid you'll stand out too much? Prosperity is going to be yours. Can you deal with it? And everybody in the world isn't going to be prosperous like you are. You are. You're going to be all right with that? Or are you going to make stuff up? Oh, I was just lucky. Or, oh, I suffered and struggled for a really long time before my goodness came. Or you're going to accept it and embrace it and acknowledge it and then tell them where it came from. Yeah, I discovered the power of non-resistant thought. What do you mean? I just started reaching for thoughts that felt better until I just sort of got hooked on it. And then I did something really powerful. I quieted my mind completely. It's the only way I could really stop the resistance. And then when the new thoughts started coming, they were pure and they were powerful and they were love and they were clarity and they were impulse. And then ideas started to flow and timing started to happen. I started being in the right place at the right time. You ready to deal with that? People aren't going to like you much. You're going to stick out. You're going to look weird. You're going to thrive in a world that might not everybody be. You're going to be happy in a world that is so full of hatred and complaint that you're going to look like you're from another planet. What's wrong with that person? They must have something wrong. You are pure positive energy beings who came forth into these physical bodies under what you knew were idyllic situations and conditions. You knew that your environment would inspire you to personal new intentions. And you knew that the energy that creates worlds would back you up. And you knew that your inner being would focus upon the desire part of it, not the absence of desire part of it. And that if you paid attention to the way you feel, that you would know where you are. You knew that you could have pre-manifestational awareness. You also knew it could manifest and then you'd be aware. But you knew that you could do this, you see. If you didn't know, if you hadn't not lived so much life where you've identified so many things that you want, nothing would ever bother you. If you didn't have a want end of the vibrational stick, then the absence of it end of the stick would not bother you at all. If somebody called you on the telephone and said, hello, you don't know me. I'm just calling to tell you that I will never call you again. You'd say, okay. Just to be sure I'm going to block you. You wouldn't be bothered by it. But if somebody you care about said that to you, you would feel it. So your emotions, the emotions that you feel, tell you how much you want something, you see. Do you believe that you can be or do or have anything that you want? Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Do you believe that you have the power to feel good anyway? Do you believe that it takes some practiced focus in order for that to be the vibration that comes most easy to you? Do you believe that no matter what, you could bring yourself to that in time? Do you think that you need to always be in that place of pure positive emotion? Do you think that the contrast serves you? Are you looking forward to being at the point where contrast will come up and you'll say, oh good, because clarity will come from it? We are really enjoying this conversation and we want you to like it like we like it. because we know that it is the path to your true power. And we can tell from the vibrational consensus that you are, that you're ready to move into your true power. You're ready to cash in your vibrational chips. You're ready to begin deliberately living happily ever after. It's time for you to begin to let those vibrations be realized by you as thoughts and impulses. And then those thoughts and impulses become steady, 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 bigger, 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 until they lead to things that are tangible. It's time for you to deliberately allow your vibrations to turn to thoughts and your thoughts to turn to things. Not because you want to show off for others, because frankly, they're not really going to get it. They're going to think you inherited it. This is a really good time for a segment of refreshment.